When did going professional in football become real to you?
When I saw OJ came, and I have a picture of OJ and my dad talking.
Oh, wow.
And so I saw that, and I'm like, okay, well, even if I have half of my dad's genes, I'm good. And then I saw this big statue of a football player with the old leather hat and all that stuff at my grandmother's house, and I said, Grandma, can I have that? And she looked at me, she says, no, you gotta earn it, you gotta get it yourself. And I said, all right, bet.
Hello, welcome to the Service Way Podcast. I'm here with Joe-Bei, Rican Wall, and myself, Hayden.
Hello.
It's good to be here. All right, intro. You-Jobei-Wan Gazette played as a defensive end for the San Francisco 49ers and has worked in the health and fitness industry as a personal trainer and a sales manager.
Welcome, Joe-Bei.
Glad to be here, man. Glad to be here.
So, we know you're obviously a heck of an athlete, back in your prime. So, we're going to go test that out.
Long time ago.
In this push-up challenge, we have Hayden Thomas, Joe-Bei, former defensive end for the San Francisco 49ers, Jeremy Wall,
Elite
and
athlete.
Reagan Wall, myself. All right.
We good?
This is the setup, by the way.
I'm kind of in
Setup.
uneven ground right now. Wait.
Ready?
Fold it over.
I'm an uneven ground.
2.
Fold it over.
Wait.
I know, we should have had that music on.
You guys got me on this one.
You can do it.
It's, what is it? I got the eye of the tiger. It's the thrill of the fight. Rising up to the challenge. Survival.
I'm up, baby. Bam.
NFL star is out.
Out.
I mean, if you're stopping the push-ups,
Don't stop.
I feel like Hayden stopped a couple times over there.
Yeah, I feel like doing this.
Now, Jeremy should keep going. I trained him, so.
That's right.
Yeah, baby.
Right. Joe-Bei.
I've never lost.
He's pausing. He's pausing.
Stop.
No minis. No minis. There you go, Jeremy. Come on, baby.
Oh, we'll count
There
him.
you go. Represent. Yes.
Come on, Hayden.
Come on.
Show Brian how to
Yeah, easy.
Come on. There you go.
I'm going to show the Tsukiyoshi. He's going to have you.
Wait, what? No.
I feel like
Keep your hips up. Don't let your hips sink. Don't let the hips sink. Oh.
I'm not squeezing out.
Winner.
Still undefeated.
We need to go.
Winner, chicken dinner.
We need to go 1 minute though. That's good. That's fine.
Good job, man.
Thanks.
Thank you, Joe-Bei.
It's all good, man. Kind of, just snuck that up on me. Nice.
So, to start us off, if you had to give a general overview of your story in, a paragraph, a minute, whatever, what would you say?
I would say my story from even playing ball or coming into playing ball is like you're nothing's never going to be given to you, right? So you do what you can that's not illegal to make things happen, So for me, it was coming up. My dad was a pro football player. Him and OJ Simpson, good friends. My dad was a big-time running back out of McKinley Tech, out of Washington, D.C. OJ Simpson courted him to come to play to USC. My dad ended up going to Kansas State, which I kind of got mad at him because I'm like, USC compared to Kansas State. And he said it was just too many ladies at USC. So he wanted to concentrate on his book, so he went to Kansas State. And so just learning from all that, knowing that I had some genes, I should have some genes to make it happen. I didn't go to school at USC. I went to school at Bowie State University, which was a good black college in Bowie, Maryland, and was able to just focus on myself, like we didn't have a good weight room. Like I literally had to get a membership at Gold's Gym to get a workout in, so I could be ready to play. So we didn't have a strength coach, so you don't have that budget, right? So you have to be proactive in what you want to do, and nothing's handed to you. And and I grew up along with my grandfather, and he was in the Navy, CB, in the Navy, and just told me hard work. So you just make it happen. So I mean, I didn't have no one but my mom, a couple of family friends that would cheer me on, but the people don't see what happens behind the door, like when you're not there. People don't see that, right? So people assume that, hey, oh man, it's just given to you. It's not. You see guys on TV, like there's a lot of guys on TV that really have to work hard really to get there. Yeah, you go to the big university, some get a chance at the big university, which it should be easier, but it wasn't for me. So I went to a smaller school, which I was a big fish in a small pond. That's what I always wanted to do. I went to Bowie State. And then I got my free agent contract. Was supposed to get drafted, but did not, because draft 1 minute you're in there, 1 minute they trade up and do all this stuff. So it became a free agency, and that's when I went to the Chargers was my first team, San Francisco, and then finished off with the Oakland Raiders. So my story, is just you work hard and make it happen. I mean, there's always doors. Like real quick, when I went to Bowie State, I'd literally would go to other universities to do their pro day. So our pro day was, excuse my language, not good. We had a small school, had some scouts come up, but I literally had to go to Towson State, went to Howard University, went over to Maryland. I literally walked on, found out where the defensive ends were, walked in there, worked out, got seen. So I didn't take no for an answer, and I think that's what my life is just perseverance, make it happen, but be a light for people on the way,
Yeah.
and yep, and that's I would say, if you sum it up, I would say perseverance, never give up, make it happen.
That's good. So I mean, let's start from like the beginning. How young were you when you started playing football?
Actually, I started playing football, I would say about 13, 14. I was really just working on me, lifting weights, stuff like that. I really didn't have a father figure around. My dad was in Wisconsin. So the father figure I had was my grandfather. Like I said, he was in the Navy. And then I had mainly him. And I mean, that's what I had growing up as far as a father figure. I hope I answered your question. If I didn't, just let me know.
That's good.
How was your grandfather impactful in your journey, do you think, as a mentor and as that father figure?
Well, knowing that he was in the Navy, and he was a boxer in the Navy, I saw a picture of him, boxing and, getting away from punches and weaving and all that stuff like that. Yeah. So, when you saw that, you kind of like, okay, I mean, if he can do it, I can do it. So it gave some inspiration to see, your grandfather in the Navy, and he was in the Navy for a long time. And then everybody else in the family was in the military. And I didn't want to do, it's not against military, because all my family was military. I wanted to do something different, so I went to college first. And then if that didn't work out, then I was going to go to the military. So, yeah.
So did you plan on playing football in college? Or? Yeah,
I did. But I got to a certain point where I didn't have, monies from mom, dad, my stepdad at the time. He was a drill sergeant in Marines, and he was instrumental in helping me grow. But we didn't have that money to get there, so I walked on. So case in point, I had my Gold's Gym membership, right? I would work out and put it this way. So in the summer, I was 215. I was working at a hospital as a unit secretary, and I gained, at the end of summer, I was 265 pounds.
Wow.
And that's, swear to God, that was in, I'll say, 4 months. And all I did is eat and lift, and then I walked on. And when I walked on, it was like, where the heck did you come from? And so I went on to Bowie State, walked on, got a scholarship, partial scholarship, and I had to pay some money's out of the pocket, but partial scholarship is better than no scholarship.
Yeah.
And then I just started playing from there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you talked about your stepdad being a drill sergeant.
Mm-hmm.
You talked about how he was instrumental
Mm-hmm.
in your journey.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was like, hey, just like this table, that bed, that bed had to be, got to be able to bounce a quarter on it. You know what I mean? So there's different standards. House had to be clean before you can do anything else. And I caught wind of that real quick. My sisters didn't, but I caught wind of that and was able. I know there's certain things that standard that you got to hold yourself up even before you leave out the door. So, whether you're cleaning, whether you brush your teeth, whether you're working out or doing push-ups or doing whatever, or planks or whatever, certain thing you got to get ready before you leave out the door, And so that showed me just, you got just certain protocols that you got to do, rhythms you got to do before you leave out for the day. Yeah, so.
So playing football at, as youth, how was that schedule for you? Were you serious about it? Was it something you did for fun?
The funny part about it is when I was growing up, I was 14. I played one season. They had a league in Maryland called Unlimited League.
Yeah.
And so you were bigger than all the, you had a group that was bigger than all the other kids because even though you was the same age, they knew that we would crush them, right?
Yeah.
So we had an Unlimited League. And so we would play in an Unlimited League. And then, I put a lot of guys out, like hitting them, stuff like that. And then I played just one year of that. And I didn't play again until I went to high school.
Oh, wow.
And then I played in high school. I played 1 year of high school football. And I was like honorable mention or whatever. And I didn't like the way the team was in playing football, so I ended up playing more basketball. So I went to school in Clinton, Maryland at Sarasville High School. And I shattered a backboard in high school, and I was in the yearbook and whatever. And I played, and then I transferred to Gwynn Park High School, and we played summer league. We won the summer league championship. That was at Central High School, and we played and won. And then I got a chance to meet a couple Lakers players because we won the championship. And then so basketball really was my first love.
Really?
Yeah, I could jump, all that stuff like that. But then I really want to get physical, and I'm like, let me go to football so I can beat some heads in.
Okay.
And so legally, So that's where I had my, that's where I played, and I just started, and I just walked on to Bowie State. And then, I could have went to other schools like Middle Tennessee State, Richmond, all that stuff like that. But I just wanted to be just a smaller scene. So that's when I went to Bowie State and played from there.
Yeah, so I know that the college life, especially for an athlete, is very tight and strict. How is it for you?
Well, in college, literally, I had friends, but they was on the football team. So, other friends I would say hi, bye to, but I was always in the books and I was always lifting. And while everybody else was doing their thing, I was always working out, always running, always, like I said, we didn't have the best lifting program. So we had no lifting program. We had weights. Think about it. At that time they had no money in the university. Now they got the stadium, they got all that. But at that time we had no money in university, and pretty much we had a racquetball court. You had squat racks. You had bench press. You had dumbbells. That's it. And I was like, I got to get better than this. And I just got a membership at Goals, and I started working out over there. So.
So coming out of high school, you weren't recruited, or you just...
No. Coming out of high school, no, I was not. No, I literally would write to colleges and I got accepted. And then I was supposed to go to Middle Tennessee State. They had had a scholarship for me. But then all of a sudden they contacted me back and said, hey, scholarship, we have a limited amount of scholarships. So that's when I just looked around. I didn't know anything about Howard. I didn't know anything. I just saw Bowie State and walked on, looked around, and just walked on and got a partial scholarship, and then put in for a Pell Grant and all that stuff like that. And then got a little bit of money from that, and then everything else I paid for myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you talked about in high school you were playing basketball. Did you have any opportunity with that, or?
Basketball, I had some scholarships in basketball. Washington, Jefferson, Lee in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
I think it might have been Richmond. I had some other schools, but see, basketball was I played and I didn't, and then I was all in football. So I didn't have many, but I mean, I had promises I could have played and went. I was a power forward, but I just wanted to bang heads, so I just went to football. So that was my thing. Yeah.
So you're in college. What was your schedule like?
In college, I mean, remember in college you can make your own schedule, right? Your own classes. But I literally would like wake up in the morning. Of course, you go to cafeteria, eat a little bit, and then go work out before class, and then because everybody used to come to me and wanted to work out, wanted some help, but because I just stayed in the gym. You know what I mean? I stayed in the gym, focused on what I needed to focus on. Just stayed positive. I just tried to stay around positive people, and the people that I wasn't feeling good about, didn't have good vibes about, I just didn't hang around. Yeah, I just didn't do it.
Yeah, we had another guest on who actually talked about the importance of positivity,
Right?
having that positive mindset.
Right.
So in college, what were you studying?
I was studying physical education.
Okay.
In college. And what happened was, in that time, because I was living in Maryland, Maryland had got rid of their physical education program, and I was like, that's stupid. Kids need ways to work out and all this stuff like that. And so then I just turned to small business administration because I wanted to open up my own business. Then I ended up opening my own fitness studio in DC after playing football. Yeah, I was there for a minute, and then you had the housing crash, and then I ended up working for the big box gyms, kind of like LA Fitnesses and all that.
Yeah.
And was in management and came in and started doing management, and I wanted to see, because eventually I do want to go back to open up my own business or be with a company that that I can do more shares with like I am now with OneLife Fitness. I'm working with them, but the goal was to see how the big box gyms do it. And really, it's whether you're a small or big box gym, the one thing I would say in business is that you got to take care of your people, whether it's the staff or your members, right? You get it clean, you're very professional, you take care of them, they'll take care of you, and they'll always refer you. And that's just anything in life. Like you do good in school, people see you, you make good connections, people talk about you, you get referrals, then the list goes on. People like. Some people don't get it until it's too late, right? And even when they think it's too late, it's really not. You just got to apply yourself, and just those positive vibes goes a long way. Like real quick in college, I literally, I saw something on the internet, and it says, all right, write yourself a note. Write your future self a note. And I said, seriously, I wrote myself a note, and I said, you're going to be playing the NFL. You're going to be playing football either on the West Coast or the East Coast. And, you're going to do good in the league, right? And then you can go and start your own business. I literally had that letter, put it in an envelope, put a stamp on it, and put the exact address while I was at school. How long do you think that letter got to me?
10 years.
No. But you would think you would get it in 3-4 days, right? I didn't get that letter for 90 days. And in that year of me playing football, I signed a deal, right? I signed a deal, 90 days. I signed a deal, and I got that letter, and to myself, I signed a contract in the NFL, and all my dreams came true. So in 90 days, from me starting for the first of that summer, I got that letter back, and I totally forgot I sent it to myself. So when I opened it up, I'm like, what is this? And I look at the bottom, I'm like, oh snap! And that's when I just signed a contract with the Chargers, got a signing bonus, went over, and so I'm all about the positive vibes. Yeah.
Speaking of that, as a person who has been a part of so many sports teams, and I played football, how would you describe your brotherhood with your teammates?
Well, I think that's the most important thing. Just you guys are here, you guys will have a relationship forever, right? But when you build in relationships, the foundation, I think people take them for granted sometimes too, because especially if someone's there all the time, always with you, and you can confide in them. The rapport that you get when you're playing football is you guys got a mission. Just like you guys are here doing this service, right? So with that mission, you guys just form that bond is even stronger. So, no matter where I'm at, I can call a friend up and say, hey, listen, man, this was going down. You got any ideas? And we can still, to this day, I still got quite a few friends left. And the reason I say left is because people do pass away and stuff like that, and things do happen. But the relationships and rapport goes a long way even after football. So somebody could be from football and they have a business, they have a connection. Once again, everything aligns, and you never thought that you would be there. But because you had a connection with that person, you guys got a good vibe, and you guys are pretty much on the same level, it kind of worked out. Even if one person's not on that level and the other person's on a different level, a lower level, that person can actually bring that person up and help that person out. You know what I mean? But you do have some instances where that person's at this high level and that person you're trying to bring up is really pulling you down, and sometimes you just got to let go and hopefully circle back around later on. So rapport is important.
When did your kind of going professional in football become real to you?
When I saw, actually even before college, when I was over my grandmother's house, and so my dad, remember I mentioned earlier that him and OJ Simpson were like that, right?
Yeah.
And OJ Simpson courted him, came to, DC had this football thing called the Pigskin Club. So the football, they used to call it Pigskin Club. And OJ came, and I have a picture of OJ and my dad talking.
Oh, wow.
And so I saw that, and I'm like, okay, well, even if I have half of my dad's genes, I'm good. And then I saw this big statue of a football player with the old leather hat and all that stuff at my grandmother's house. And I said, Grandma, can I have that? And she looked at me. She says, no, you got to earn it. You got to get it yourself. And I said, all right, bet. I'm going to do that. And so that's, that little seed came. And then, when I went to Bowie State, and it goes to show you, we had a guy named Steve Smith that actually was drafted by the Giants. And when I saw him get drafted, and he was a year ahead of me, I'm like, man, if you're getting drafted and I'm running faster than you are, and I'm weighing about 242, 235, 245 in my senior year, I'm like, nah, I'm going. So, you saw that. He came back with the draft shirt and all that stuff. I'm like, oh, man, it's on. I'm ready to rock. So, yeah, you got certain segments, and then you get to meet these, like I met Romeo Cromell, who was with New England, who was with Bill Belichick. I met him the year before I went to the league, and they're looking at your film because my head coach at the time was Sanders Schreiber, who used to be with Don Shula, who played with Don Shula at middle linebacker. So I knew, and the head coach was definitely making sure that we had every chance to really get there, right? And you have a lot of scouts would come in and they would interview us, like just talk to us a little bit while they're watching film. So all these scouts that coach with Bill Belichick and coach with other coaches, Bill Parcells and stuff like that, and that he knew that he played with, it was a matter of time. You're like, man, all right, it's on. They come watch you and doing spring ball and all that stuff. So I knew something was going to happen. I knew eventually something was going to happen. So yeah.
Were you disappointed after not getting drafted, or did you know you were gonna?
When you got San Francisco calling you a couple days before and said, are you ready? And I'm like, yeah. I'm really not. I'm not the hoopla guy. Like, so I just like ready, get in there. It happens, great. If it doesn't happen, find a way to get there. So I try not to get overly excited. You know what I mean? Because I can get overly excited. Yeah. And I just stay cool. And then so when San Francisco's calling and say, hey, look, we're gonna draft you. And then when they needed to use a pick or whatever to get certain people or whatever in the draft, that became free agency. I'm like, all right, well, let me go to the team that wants me at that time. And so the Chargers gave me a signing bonus, which back then signing bonuses were like, that signing bonus was $10,000. That's nothing. You know what I'm saying? When you look at the days, like back in the day, and when I see my old contract and you see what's going on now, you're like, those peanuts. And and now I kind of understand how guys back in the day who wasn't getting paid nothing, and they look at me at the time and say, oh man, you're doing all right. But now you look at today's market And now with the free agency going on, started this week, it's just crazy amount of money. I mean, it's just progressive.
So when you got to the NFL, was it like how was the feeling? Was it like surreal? Or?
It was surreal because there's more than 2 or 3 players who I met. So Chris Doman, God rest his soul, passed away. He was a Minnesota Viking defensive end. I used to watch this guy. And when I was with the 49ers, I had a chance to have dinner with him. And it's me and Chris Doman. So just imagine, it's like, could be your dad, right? And you're sitting there, you're like, oh, dad, I'm not saying dad, but I'm just like, eyes big, right? I'm talking to him and just picking his brain and just, he's just telling me, and I asked him, I said, how do I get where you go? And he was just telling me hard work, and you guys keep going at it, you'll get there. And, whether I made it, like I said, I only played 4 years, but at the end of the day, you still got to apply yourself no matter what you do anyway, right? So whether it's, hey, he's telling me apply myself, be on time, work hard. And then I got another guy who I met was Ricky Jackson. He was with the New Orleans Saints. Pat Swilling had the big time defense at the time a while ago, and Ricky Jackson was a good guy, good opponent, like country boy, but like I said, he could play, and I'm learning from him. So in practice, I'm all, you focus on a guy ahead of you. So even if I'm third on the depth chart, it doesn't matter because somebody could go down for a second, somebody could get traded, somebody could say they retired. Like Pat Swilling, when I was with the Raiders, Pat Swilling had just retired that summer, and then it was me and Lance Johnstone. Lance Johnstone was in front of me, and I was behind Lance, and you got positions open. So you just got to be ready. So it's just like in life. Just because you're not that one, don't mean you can't be that one. Or you can't be that person to be ready to go. You know what I mean? Like they say, always stay ready, right? So you don't have to get ready, right? Mm-hmm. Stay ready. Be ready to go, just like anything. So just because that door didn't open, don't mean somebody goes down and they need you. You got to be ready to go because that's how it is in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Somebody goes down, you just got to be ready to go. Because, you could be called, or even if you're on a practice squad or whatever, somebody might need you at another team, and then you sign with another team. That's how practice squad works. So, yeah.
How would you talked about these mentors and these people you'd watch? How do you learn from someone like that? How do you make sure that you're getting all this information from these people who are where you want to go?
Well, you can't. For one, the first thing I said to myself is, thank God I'm able to be in front of these people, right? Ricky Jackson, Pat Swilling, Chris Doman. These guys are, if you look them up, just legendary dudes, right? Hall of Fame, and then you just focus. You just, all right, my position. Look at his hand. Look at his stance. Why is he leaning to the side? Why is his leg back a little bit? What down is it? It's all these little details. And I think life, that's what it's saying. Football is all about inches, right? In certain situations, and that's what life is. Inches, certain situations, and the moment. It's big. It could be big. Or is this a small moment and I'm taking it too big? Just relax a little bit, step back and see what's going on. But you got to react. And when you want to react, you want to make sure that you're reacting properly, right? Because we want to make sure, because look, we're not even promised a second on this earth, right? So you want to make sure every step you make, and that's the football taught me, that you got to be efficient. You don't want to do a wasted rep. It's a wasted rep. You're never going to get that back. So you want to make sure you do it right. So when you see somebody, like case point, we was in there doing push-ups, right? And look, you do it as much as you can to failure, right? And when you can't do it, you can't do it. You gave all you can. And, you guys caught me on the day that I just woke up. So anyway, but at the end of the day, you want to be efficient. You don't want any wasted reps.
Yeah.
And so whether you in class, in school, is just a good rep, and like a good rep, is this a good rep or not? Am I, excuse my language, I know you pray about this, am I bullshitting myself here? When you're doing it in class, am I taking this real? Is this going to help me get to what I want? Like, even have a goal, because we're not promised a second. And so when you get up in the morning, man, you're in the game. You get, and now that like I'm 54 years old, can't believe it, don't know what number this is. Hey, I'm here. But at the end of the day, like, it's always good to talk to somebody who's older than you, 60s, 70s. They'll tell you, man, waking up, it's better to be on this side than underneath, 6 feet under. And I just want, if people don't get anything from this podcast, just understand this. Yeah, it serves to help others, because you're not promised that second. So whatever you can do to make it happen. And you know what? And I'm not talking about cheating somebody to get ahead. You know, you don't have to do that. If you love what you do, the money's going to come. Like honestly, if I wasn't, like, I was literally, real quick, and I'll go back. So when I was wanting to get an NFL contract, I literally, this is straight up, I had no money in my pocket, and I wrote a check, and at that time, checks, you could fly out, right? So you write a check to fly out to California. I had no money in my account. I just wrote a check, went out to California, worked, paid, put the money in the account, got a contract with the Oakland Raiders, right? And because the contracts were like, you know, every 2 years, every 1 year, you know, at a time, because you're a free agency. So you know, basically what I'm trying to say is you just got to make it happen. We're not promised a second, and you just can't take life for granted. And by the older people, if you listen to them, if they'll give you, just listen to them. There's certain things that if you listen to them, they're trying to tell you what not to do because they did it. That's all I'm saying. And that's why I was talking to Chris Doman, you know, talking to Chris Slade, you know, Ricky Jackson. If you just talk to them and say, hey, man, how did you get there? Or, you know what I mean? They'll talk to you because they want to give you the information, but you got to just pay attention. That's all. You know, that's it. Just got to pay attention.
So, this is lately in the NFL, basically superhuman feats have been just thrown out there. As you know, somebody just broke the 40-yard dash record. Do you think that the NFL is rigged? Or can you disclose that?
It's kind of hard to really rig it. And you know what I mean? Like, it's too many components, right? So you got refs.
Yeah.
You got coaches got to play into it. It's too many people, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, I just think it's too many components to be thinking that it's rigged. It's just too many components. I mean, you know, if you had a, you know, maybe if you had a, and that's why the NFL, well, I didn't know this, but athletes, you can't, if you're in NFL, you can't, what is this? You can't bet. You can't bet on a certain time in the season. You can't bet at all.
Yeah.
I think it's maybe a couple, even after the season, I think it's maybe a month later. It's something like that. You can't bet. And when they found out you bet, you know, you see guys are getting, you know, they're getting suspended for a year and all that stuff like that because they don't want the point shaving and all that stuff like that. So they're trying their best to make sure that there's no rigging, you know, make sure there's no Pete Rose incident, which I felt like he's paid his dues. He should be in the Hall of Fame. Pete Rose should. But I just like, it's too many components to be rigged. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, these guys are getting paid money and all that stuff, but everybody, you know, you want to win, right? You know, you want to win. So it's too many components to be, you know, being rigged. It's just too many components.
I'm a Cowboys fan, so I thought it was rigged for a while. So.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, you know, but when you look at Cowboys salary cap, I mean, they only have $2.2 million, buddy.
They do.
Yeah. And guess who got all that money? Dak. He got all that money. That's it.
Why?
So, I mean, you know, maybe they have to make adjustments, or maybe they're going to have to give Dak a little bit of bigger chunk so they can spread that money out, because on the cap, I mean, they haven't, that's why they haven't made any moves. You know, unless somebody trades and they can get something for something. You know, I mean, so you know, everybody else got, you know, they got some good cap room. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Baltimore linebacker just got picked up for like 44 mil or something.
Which
Did you
was
see
that?
Queen? He just got like a $44 million.
Is this
deal.
still Baltimore or somebody else?
Nah, he moved somewhere. What was it?
Patrick King, Queen, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Good guy. Good.
Yeah. Do you know?
Good, yeah, no,
Met him?
I don't know him, but I know like he's a good linebacker.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, he's a great linebacker.
yeah. Did he go to a rival team? Because I didn't see that part.
Yeah. Where, do you know where he went? I can't remember.
Okay.
He got like 44 mil. That was like, dang,
Yeah,
they're paying the linebackers now.
No, I mean linebackers get paid. Well, I'm just happy to see Saquon Barkley get paid. You know,
Yeah,
running
yeah.
backs are good, man.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So, real short story. I had a guy, Ron Rivers, who he was playing with me with the Chargers.
Yeah.
And if you remember the Chargers back then, they had this running back called Natron Means, big running back, muscular running back. And Ron was, you know, I think second or third string, about third string behind or whatever, if I can remember. But then Ron ended up going over to Detroit Lions, and he was backing Barry Sanders up. So Barry Sanders just retired, and I think Ron stepped in. Ron was in there playing behind Barry Sanders. So I was just so happy to see Mr. Barkley get his money.
Yeah.
Saquon get his money, so that's good. And then a lot of running backs are getting their money.
Yeah.
And so, you know, because, you know, a good running back's hard to find, you know what I mean? So it's good. And once you get the running back, you want to keep them. But so, you know, like I said, it's a new era, man. Like I got to end with this though. I'm amazed at the high school with the what are these guys getting paid out of high school? What's this little thing now?
Yeah, they're getting committed.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
NIL.
Oh, I wish that had that. Oh man, I'd be in a better situation. You're talking about, you know, guys getting $1 million out of high school. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's cool, but damn.
It's
So you
across
need to go to
multiple
NFL.
sports too.
Right,
so, yeah.
right. That's crazy. Like back in the day, I mean, we couldn't do nothing. Like, so this is, I mean, that's really good because if someone can use your likeness and they can use it anywhere, then why not get paid? You know?
Yeah.
You know, why not? But just, I think the thing is, yeah, you're getting paid, but do you know how to really put your money away? And that's and that's another thing, you know, guys, you know,
Struggle with.
turn and burn, man. You know, think you can be playing football forever, but that's not forever, man. Not sad to say, even that in basketball, it's not. You know, you got to put your eggs away, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're LeBron.
Yeah.
Just keep
Well, believe me, I mean, if you think he's got all these shows, these movies he's doing,
Yeah.
LeBron ain't stupid. And then his friends around him are like doing good.
Yeah.
You know, I think he got a buddy that's like a super agent in
really?
I think it's Rich Paul. Is it Rich?
Rich Paul,
Yeah, Rich. I mean, just, come on, man. I mean, so he's got a good group, man. So it's not like back in the day where you just make your money and all right, now these guys are they're trying to spread it and make more money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I think, you know, you got Dr. J and all of them came up, which a lot of people don't know about, but then you got Jordan that comes up, and I think LeBron is, you know, everybody sees that kind of his blueprint and make their own blueprint, and now these guys are really bringing their friends in, and everybody's benefited from it. So it's not bad because back in the day, we just wouldn't do it. Guys just make the money and be like, you know, do a couple TV shows and, you know, they're good to go. So, yeah, so it's good. It's a to me, I think it's a good time for all sports.
Yeah.
Even in, you know, college and all that, guys are still getting paid in college, you know, now.
Crazy.
Where back in the day, we would get trouble, we would get suspended, like NCAA wouldn't even let that happen. I mean, you couldn't get money, you know, like that now. So, you know, like I said, it's just a new time, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Good talk with you guys, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Maybe next time we'll have a little talk, but we kind of be in like Miami or something, a palm tree or
That's
something.
right.
Chilling, sitting back. You know?
Yeah.
That would be a good podcast.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
So we do have the question that we ask every guest, if it's that time. Or
Yeah.
what is the service way to you?
Well, service to me is, listen, I'm glad that I'm getting paid to do what I do as far as helping people, fitness, the whole nine. But even if I wasn't getting paid, I would be doing that. I mean, I would be helping people. I like helping. You got somebody who's 67 years old, who's just life in general, who's just not where they used to be. And there's a lot of cases where we're not where we used to be. but I can help you. I can bridge the gap from where you are now to where you want to be. So I can help you out. And so everybody has a story. And if you can help their story out, it's just going to help my story. So if I can help this person out, they can help somebody else out. They'll tell somebody else about me, and I can help them out. You know what I mean? So service to me is you got to give before you get, right? So you got to give before you get, and that's going to be important. Because if you don't give, then, how's somebody going to know about you? So it's okay to give a free session. It's okay. You know what I mean? It's okay for that, But you want to give a service. You want to help somebody out because it's going to come back to you. It's going to come time where I could be sitting in the fitness center and someone says, hey, I want somebody to meet you. And next thing you know, you just help somebody else's story out. So, so if I wasn't getting paid for doing this, I'd probably still be doing it. You know what I mean? But I just like what I'm doing. So if you like what you're doing, the money's going to come, right? And it's going to come and you're not even going to know, hey, wow, that just happened. That just happened. So don't even think about the money. Just like if someone wants to play pro ball or do whatever. Don't think about the money, right? Now, you want to be efficient. You want to be good at it. So you do what you can to be good at it. And then the money will come. That's it. Just don't be looking at the dollar sign. It's not, the money's going to come. You want to be efficient. You want to be efficient in what you're doing. You know what it takes to get. And nowadays with all the phones and all that, we didn't have that back. We didn't have that. You know what I mean? You might have had a phone. You might have your little pager back in the day. You guys probably know what a pager is. I don't know. But I'm saying, you had a little sky pager. You would look at it. You would chime like you would text. Like now, people text and drive. Man, it's crazy. But when you had that sky pager, you couldn't text and drive. You couldn't do that because you're driving and sky. You had to use 2 fingers, your thumbs. So, or you had your BlackBerry, as we used to call it. So I would just say that service. You just want to help others, man. It'll all come back around. And with the technology and all that today, you could look at. Athletes are more open now. Like there's not an off season. You know what I mean? And even when I was coming up, I knew it wasn't an off season. You work out no matter what, and you make it happen. And you just stay ready. So I would tell anybody, stay ready. Listen to people who've done it before, and that'll get you ready to go. Just stay ready. That's it. So thank you guys for having me.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for coming. We appreciate you. You have a unique story, and I think your story kind of emanates the mentors you've had, the work you've put in.
Right.
And I think that's important for people to hear.
Yeah. Let's do it again, man.
Yeah. We'd love to have you back on.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.